I just touch these and I go right back to those websites, which is really cool. Now, I may want to customize my home screen. And so what I can do is just touch any icon for a few seconds, and they all start to jiggle. They all get a little restless. And I can do whatever I want. I can take something out of the dock if I want. I only have 3 things in the dock. I can say, I'm going to use these Google apps a lot. I'm going to put them right in the dock there. I'm going to take my New York Times and just slide it over to the right of the screen, and it goes to another page that I've made with all my other web clips on it. And when I'm done, well, I can go back here if I want, and I can just, move stocks down here, and I can move, my calendar over here, whatever I want to do. And I just push home, and I'm done. And now my icons have been rearranged, and I can go see some of these other web clips. I can just push Bank of America. They have a great mobile banking app here, and I just go right to it. It's that simple. And I can create up to 9 of these home screens and just literally flick between them with a flick of my finger. So there you have it. So how do we do some of this stuff? Let's take maps. There's no GPS inside the iPhone. We've got this great new user interface, but how do we actually arrive at the location? Well, we're working with 2 companies to do that, Google and a company called Skyhook Wireless. Let me start with Skyhook. What they've done is they've driven the US and Canada in little cars with antennas on them and GPS receivers in them, and they've mapped Wi-Fi hotspots. They're now doing Europe and starting in Asia. And they've got 23 million Wi-Fi hotspots in their database. And so when we go to find a location, it turns out you pick up beacons from these hotspots, even if you're not connected to them. And you pick up the beacons, we triangulate the beacons, look in their database, and it tells us where we are. Isn't that cool? It's really cool. And Google is doing basically the same thing with triangulating cell tower information off the cellular network. And we're using both of them. And it works pretty doggone well. So that is how we find location on the iPhone. And again, we can take any app. We have this new Add to Home Screen button. We can go ahead and add our apps right to the home screen. We can reposition them anywhere we want. SMS, multiple people at a time, and again, have a record of that so I can just, if I want to, one finger, send a message to all those people again. And when I'm watching films now, I've got 2 buttons here. One shows me all the chapters. I can navigate through the video by chapters. And the other, if the video contains alternate language tracks or subtitles, I can turn those off and on and select the language as well. If I have lyrics data, it puts it right on top of the album art when I go in with the scrubber. So these are some of the new features that we've got on the iPhone. And all of this is available today as a free software update for every iPhone owner. The iPhone is not standing still. We keep making it better and better and better and giving free software updates to our users. So, that's the iPhone. What about the iPod Touch? They do have the same software system inside. What can we do for the iPod Touch today? Well, we're doing something pretty big. We've decided to add 5 apps to the iPod Touch. We're going to add our amazing Mail app, our Maps app, which you just saw, Stocks, Notes, and Weather. And this is what it's going to look like for the iPod Touch. Mail, Stocks, Notes, and Weather. Maps with Wi-Fi location, because the iPod Touch has Wi-Fi. So whenever we can pick up those Wi-Fi beacons, we can use Skyhook to find the location, even on an iPod Touch that doesn't have a cellular radio in it. Web clips, customize the home screens, the same stuff we just heard on iPhone, on the iPod Touch. And starting today, we are going to build it into every new iPod Touch that leaves the factory. And for existing iPod Touch users, It's going to be just a $20 upgrade, and you get all these new features. And available today on iTunes. So you can just go to iTunes, plug in your iPod Touch, you'll see a page just like this, and with one button, you can download this entire software update to your iPod Touch. And so the iPod Touch and the iPhone, major software updates to each one, and that was the second thing I wanted to talk about today.